Hi, I'm Panis from Sigma World, doing some interviews here. We are with Ronnie D'Arienzo, from Freemarket. Ronnie, just tell us what Freemarket is doing and what do you bring to Sigma 2022?
Sure. Well, my name's Ronnie and I'm responsible for the commercial team at Freemarket. What we do as a business is we aggregate banking services, payment institutes onto our proprietary platform and enable access to small, medium-sized enterprises to enable them to have access to banks. Our value proposition is that because of the network of banks that we have, we enable these clients to have significant choice. We give them resilience, we give them stability and continuity of their service. We're here because we have a very diverse mix of our customers, but around about 23% of them are from the gaming sector, so it's very, very important for us.
Where do you see the gaming companies, operators focusing for the next years?
I think it's an interesting market. Gaming's been a very interesting market for such a long time, and you see different regions that are moving very, very quickly. The US opening up significantly, and I think that's a huge market in terms of how regulation is opened up, especially for online gaming, that particular market. And then in Europe, maybe there are more challenges in that particular market as well. So I think we maybe talk about it later, but regulation is really key in terms of how operators are focusing around those challenges.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you discuss about regulation. I think probably is the biggest issue in iGaming market. What do you see happening in that in the next years, or maybe down the line in 1 year?
Well, I think regulation is not going to be unified, probably not in my lifetime, be unified. And you'll see different states in the US having different regulations. Europe is very fragmented despite being a community, and not only different regulation requirements in each market, but each individual market, like Germany for example, having different regulation requirements within that. So I think I see more fragmentation happening in regulation. I think it's also important not just for the gaming operators to be understanding of the changes that are coming and acting accordingly of being ahead of the game there, but also players like Freemarket as well as really understanding that market. We understand that, we know what's happening, we're very close with subject matter experts in that particular area, so we understand the changes in the requirements and we can adapt our business accordingly as well.
Okay, the payments industry, at least in the last 3-4 years, came a long way. And how do you adapt your products, your business to serve the gaming clients?
Well, we, as I said, are very close in terms of regulation. We're very close in terms of licensing requirements. We're very close to the gaming industry in terms of what they need in terms of whether it's local collection, payouts, whether it's virtual IBANs are required, etc. So there's a lot of requirements. What's really key for us to understand is what they need and what services are required for us to be able to scale and help them grow in their particular market. So what we do is we make sure that we're very in tune with that. We find the right partners to integrate into our platform to give them access. So it doesn't matter whether there is a particular license requirement, a particular currency, a particular service that they might need. We have all of those different layers in there on a single platform. So one platform, one integration, one contract, access to that platform, and gives them accessibility to all of those requirements.
And how do you see these challenges going forward?
More of the same, I think. More fragmentation in the market. I think what's really key as well is that those looking for banking services recognize that certainly enterprise banks are changing their appetite, changing their focus, especially the corresponding bank network as well. I think fintechs are a little bit more agile, they're a little leaner. So we're looking to partner with more of the fintechs in the business to make sure that we have, maybe the wrong word to use, but a patchwork of providers that meets all of the needs. So moving away slightly from maybe some of the enterprise bank relationships, whilst we still think that's important, but looking at more of the fintechs, a little bit more agile and understanding the user experience and working accordingly with them.
In your opinion, what is the biggest challenge for the gaming operators and how they can prepare better?
I think the biggest challenge, certainly if you're looking at the European market at the moment, the biggest challenge that I see is the tightening specifically on the regulation around advertising. It's very difficult competing in that particular market as a gaming operator to be able to win market share. And much of that is done through advertising, whether that's TV, whether that's shirt sponsorship, whether it's perimeter advertising, etc. I start to see now in more of these European markets, especially, not so much in the US, but in the European markets, that there is a tightening around those particular controls about what they can and what they can't do. So that makes it difficult to A, win market share, and difficult B, to be able to onboard new, younger clients of theirs as well.
Okay. What do you see in the payments industry and the trends coming forward? In your opinion, what is the top 3 trends we're looking for in 2000?
So maybe rather unexpectedly or maybe unashamedly, I think they all center around fintechs. I think fintechs will continue to be disrupting the market and driving forward innovative change, and banks working collaboratively with those fintechs will succeed in that. So I think that's the first one in terms of innovative disruption in the market. I think smart apps and interactive devices are becoming more and more prevalent in the market as well. If you look at, we're talking about 5G today, but actually if you look at the likes of Nokia, Samsung, LG, etc., they're all developing 6G technology today. So I think it's really key that these interactive devices working closer together will drive more user experience improvements for the business. The third one is around AI, and I know we've been talking about AI every year, and we're saying AI is going to be the next big thing. I think now that's more embedded in some of the apps. It's part and parcel of the apps that we see today. So I think that's going to really drive fraud prevention, data storage, and I think the fraud prevention part is really key because that will drive the user experience. So I think they're the key ones for me. So it's innovative disruption from the fintechs, it is smart apps and interactive devices, and it is AI.
And great trends and insights. How your company, aligns with these trends? Maybe, my last question.
Yeah. Well, we make sure we do that in a number of different ways. We're very clear about the particular sectors that we go after. As I said, it's quite diverse, but PSPs, financial institutes, Forex, CFD, remittance, etc., and gaming are really key. So in those particular sectors, we have a lot of subject matter expertise. We're very close to any of the publications. Our risk and compliance teams are very in tune in terms of different markets and the activities and the change in regulations. It's really key that as a business, we are employing people that are subject matter experts that are very in tune and in line with any developments that are happening in the market.
Cool. Thank you. Anything else lastly to add? Or?
No, I think look, this is the first time that I personally have been to Sigma. Really impressed with Sigma. I think it's a fabulous show, very, very busy in there. Lots of relevant clients and prospects and suppliers as well for us. So looking forward to the rest of the show.